The ancient ages, historically, philosophically and scientifically. The never-ever-ending ages of the past, the pre-angelic period with the foreknowledge of evil. These were the ages before the creation of the angels, when there was the invisible great creator God being with the invisible demiurges, which were even from behind the universe and further in the universe, because the foreknowledge of evil was there. Here there was the only great creator God as the only great cause for everything, by whom all things were created, by whom all things exist, and by whom all things are maintained through his great creative voice, the Logos. Other than his demiurges in the universe, he is the only one great creator of all, who alone is worthy to be worshipped. In this case, the demiurges are the other gods and the other lords from behind the universe and from the universe, which are finally to be defeated and nullified by him through his defeating the foreknowledge of evil to take over his kingdom, power, and glory forever and ever. The very ancient age, the angelic age with the possibility of evil. This was the angelic age when there were only good angels, or all the angels were good angels during this period. Here God is not revealed as he should be. Rather, he was invisibly revealed to the angels, because the angels were created not in his image and likeness, but only created as the created soul beings. While he was invisible to the angelic world, only his image was revealed visibly to them as the Maya God. So the visibly set Maya God was seen and worshipped by the angels as if it were the real God. The prior stage of the angelic period was the age of the foreknowledge of evil, where there were demiurges. But the angelic period had the possibility of evil, where there were the visibly set Maya gods. The ancient age, the fallen angelic age with the certainty of evil. This was the fallen angelic period from 38,000 years ago. Here there were 2/3 good angels and 1/3 fallen angels, the devils. Before the fall of 1/3 of the angels, there was a kind of race, which was created and set before Adam on the then existing earth as the pre-Adamic race. That earth had no seas or oceans. It is a fascinating aspect that the pre-Adamic race was mainly settled in the charming places of the earth, which are now under the oceans. In the course of time, against the pre-Adamic race, as the judgment, the huge waters came as the universal flood, in which the pre-Adamic race was totally drowned as the imposing of punishment over them. There was the certainty of evil from 38,000 years ago, that is, from the fall of 1/3 of the angels as devils. Together with their fall as the influenced soul beings of those fallen angels, the pre-Adamic race that was totally polluted got drowned in the universal flood of great waters. At present, their souls remain as demons on the earth, particularly under the oceans. Now these demons are the subordinate spirits to the fallen angels. Out of the 38,000 years, the first 24,000 years was set for the fully polluted stage with formless and void earth that was covered with the universal flood of waters. The remaining 14,000 years are for the recreation. The previously created angels are beings with a kind of similarity to mankind, mainly with oxen faces and with long hair like ladies, etc. The pre-Adamic race was a group of beings similar to the angelic beings, but those beings which dwelt bodily were drowned in the universal flood. As the departed spirits, they now covered human bodies to dwell within still, with the respective human spirits as demons or as possessing demons. The recreation and so the greatly redeemed ages of mankind for the span of 14,000 years. This was the age that belonged to the Elohim as the recreator of the 6 yoms of recreation, and at its end, the same Elohim was the real creator of the man Adam in his own image and likeness, that is, at the end of the sixth Yom. Then while Adam was in the Garden of Eden as the partner of his Godhead, he was the Yeli, to whom belonged the Garden of Eden, where all the activities of Adam continued till he was cast out from that Garden of Eden. After Adam was cast out from the Garden of Eden to the ground, the Lord was the Almighty, while mankind was replenishing or multiplying on the ground. This age then belonged to Jehovah or Adonai, when he was the Redeemer of the Israelites from Egypt, and further, he was the great Redeemer of their souls to the upper hell. This age then belonged to the veiled Adonai in the timely taken man form as Alpha and Omega, while he was the special great Redeemer of souls till the paradise, and this age belongs to the magnified Adonai at this time of the end, after the unveiling of his timely taken veiled man form, further with the unsealing of the seven seals of the universal book, and so now there is his exalted and magnified word of God, which has already been and is being revealed in this last day. The recreation from 14,000 years ago. This recreation is described from Genesis chapter 1, verse 3 onwards. Because the cosmic light was quenched 38,000 years ago, instead in the place of that quenched light, there was the universal level flooded waters from then on. As the first step of recreation 14,000 years ago, the cosmic light was restored down from the half portion of the first heaven as it was. Through the recreation of 14,000 years ago, the first Yom's creation as the restored setting of the cosmic light is known as the first day's creation of the light. This first day is the Yom of the 1,000-year period. During this setting of the restored cosmic light, the already dwelling, since 38,000 years ago, darkness was set apart as a parallel power as the first night of the first Yom of 1,000 years. The above said restored cosmic light and the parallel power of the first night of the first Yom of 1,000 years became the positive and negative powers of light and darkness from 14,000 years ago for further recreation. Through the positive-negative friction of light and darkness, the already remaining waters divided from each other as the waters above the firmament and the waters below the firmament. Here there was the compression of darkness to its next stage of compressing the waters that are below the firmament, where the dry land with stars and planets appeared down from the firmament as the mid-air area. Here the remaining huge waters got compressed as the below universal sea of terribly seen dark waters in the underworld. On this occasion, the planet Earth, which had already been without form and void, here becomes a restored planet with seas and oceans in 2/3 area and fertile dry land in 1/3 area with grass, the herb yielding seed and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind. The universal setting of the EARTHSPHERE around the restored and fertile planet Earth. So 10,000 years ago, there was the setting of the aerial, marine, and terrestrial powers around the Earth. 1. Before the 14,000 years of recreation, the planet Earth was without form and void and was under the universally flooded waters. 2. But after the third Yom, third day of recreation, there was a restored planet Earth with seas and oceans in 2/3 area and fertile dry land in 1/3 area with grass, herb yielding seed and fruit trees yielding fruit after its kind. 3. But only through the restored and fertile state of the planet Earth. It will not continue only with the presence of the oceans or seas but with the setting of the EARTHSPHERE around it, where the restored and fertile Earth was made suitable for mankind to inhabit there. The EARTHSPHERE that is compulsory for the present mankind to inhabit the Earth. So on the fourth Yom of 1,000 years or the fourth day of recreation, the EARTHSPHERE was set around the fertile planet Earth for mankind to inhabit the planet Earth. 1. through the recreation and setting of the sun to give real light to the earth. 2. Through the recreation and setting of the moon to give the lesser light to the earth. 3. The 12 hours of daytime are set with the light. 4. The 12 hours of night are set with the darkness. 5. Dividing the day from the night for the setting of the signs. 6. For the setting of the seasons. 7. For the setting of the days, and 8. For the setting of the years, 360 days for a lunar year. There was the setting of the stars in the EARTHSPHERE, which are with their sweet influences upon mankind, so as the rudiment of this world. There is astrological reading, which is only a rudimentary aspect of the knowledge of this world. The whole lives around spread over the oceans from 9,000 years. Here the marine lives are differentiated. 1. The super-oceanic life over the oceans, the top marine life. The super-oceanic life originates through the separation of the cosmic light from the cosmic darkness upon the oceans. The darkness that once originated from the infinity now permanently dwells in the oceans as the darkness life of the underworld. Because of the separation of the cosmic light from the cosmic darkness over the oceans, the multitudes of waters are stirred up with tumult, billows, and great raging of waters. 2. The marine life of the oceans. The marine life is based on the undercurrent of the oceans through 1. Division, 2. Split, 3. Friction, 4. Conflict, and 5. Motion, which keep the ocean always alive and active, but not at all inactive and stagnant. 3. The aquatic life in the oceans. The aquatic lives are also very much energetic in the oceans, even by the shuffling of the oceans by the whales. These active lives of oceanic zoological lives are in relation to the underground life of the ocean, and even in relation to both the atmosphere and the atmospheric life. The energies of the planet Earth influence the oceans. 1. The sound energy that broods upon. 2. The energy in the atmosphere from the heat, light and energy that are produced from the sun. 3. The terrestrial energy that is produced from the land around us. 4. The marine energy from the oceans around the earth. The setting of the oceans. 1. The springs of the sea from the underneath ground. 2. The recesses of the deep. 3. The gates of death. 4. The gates of deep with the shadow of death, example, Bermuda Triangle. 5. The setting of the foundation of the oceans is based on the few foundations of the earth. The recreation of the lives on the ground is formed all of a sudden. From the end of lives spread around over the oceans from the end of 9,000 years ago. The life is formed suddenly by the sound energy. Afterwards that sound energy remains here as the nature power to sustain life. The plasmatic life. The plasmatic life is specially concentrated from the ground life, where all the botanical lives are concealed, to grow up occasionally and in need and in time. The ground is constituted with all the botanical lives in it as part of the ground life. From both ground life and botanical life, the plasmatic life is specially concentrated in the animal world and in mankind. So in the plasmatic life in the animal world and in mankind, there are hairs, claws, etc. in link with the botanical lives. The amoebic life. The amoebic life is the real and self-life in the animal world, including mankind. This amoebic life is the special concentration of the atmospheric life, which is with the components of quenchable fire, wind, air, elements, gases, clouds as vapor, darkness, and water. How was life formed? 1. The planet life is formed as part of cosmic life. 2. The ground life is formed as part of planet life. 3. The botanical life is formed as part of ground life. 4. The plasmatic life is formed as part of both ground life and botanical life. Separately, the amoebic life is part of the atmosphere, which is with all the components of the atmosphere. All lives are progressively formed. By confusion, those progressively formed lives are called by a few people as evolution. Really, evolution is only an evolved imagination. There are lots of imaginations, speculations and arbitrary values in the existing science and in the existing mathematics. For example, the present pi value of 22/7, an arbitrary value, is against the universal circle value of 41/13. The perfect digit 7 should never be the denominator for the circle value. Instead, the number 13, which stands for Sunya, should come as the denominator for the universal circle value. The 7 general lives of the universe in relation to the planet Earth. 1. The life of darkness. 2. The life of light. 3. The cosmic life. 4. The planet life. 5. The ground life. 6. The zoological lives. 7. The botanical lives. 8. The aquatic life. The first life in the universe is nothing but the life of darkness, which is even from the infinity. But the foremost life in the universe is the life of light that could shine in darkness and so spread over against darkness, where darkness cannot overpower the light. The cosmic life is the all-around general life of the universe, in which the particular universal life dwells within the matter stars and matter planets as thundering noises. This dwelling is like the veins that dwell in a leaf. The planet life of the Earth is part of the universal life that dwells as thundering noises within the planet Earth as the veins that dwell in a leaf. The ground life is concealed with the sound energy, and that sound energy also dwells upon the atmosphere as the guardian aspect of the life system of the Earth. This sound energy is the derivative of the cosmic life. The zoological lives are from the concentrated state of the atmospheric life as the amoebic life in brooding and further develops in link with the ground life or the plasmatic life. Because the ground life is of sound energy, the spark part of sound energy dwells in every zoological being, which is with the plasmatic life. Because such a spark part of sound energy dwells, the wonderfully seen and heard instincts are in every zoological being. In the zoological lives themselves there are 3 divisions as the creatures on the ground, the birds in the air and the aquatic beings in the water. These 3 divisions are in link with the terrestrial, aerial and marine lives. The botanical lives are from the atmospheric lives, which consist of fire, wind, air, elements, gases, clouds with vapor of smoke, darkness and water, on all of which as the guardian life the sound energy broods. The unique aquatic lives are the concentrated state from the life of darkness in the water, and that aquatic life is the friction through the life of light that is separating from darkness upon the waters. Here the plasmatic life of the aquatic beings is in link with the underground life of the oceans. The basic life of man and beast is the same. The basic life is the same with the same breath and the same fate for both man and beast. Nevertheless, the abstract lives of the universe are constituted only in man. So the abstract life is only in man as his soul, as part of the soul in the universe, which is the abstract aspect of the universe. Authored by Mr. Abraham M.T., known as the Man of the East, the scholar and interpreter of invariable matters of the ancient ages, the Antiquarian, and the future ages.